also a senior from Melbourne, Florida. Miller, Grubka now. In some ways trying to tempt Virginia out, but they refuse to go. Grubka. Point Visto now pushing up from her right back position. Kolaprika. Wonderful to get out of pressure here. Doniak will get it wide. 7 is Kylie Torres, knocks it towards the corner flag, and out of play it goes.
But better sequence by Virginia, and trying to get those flank players involved on both sides.
Here's Kylie Torres, number 7. And 8 is Alexis Schaffer. Schaffer came into the starting lineup. Torres normally out wide into the middle. And Virginia playing with a lone striker. That's the switch you talked about earlier, Julie. What has occurred positively from that change in system, and what has occurred negatively maybe from an attacking standpoint?
Well, I think it shores you up defensively in midfield, so Florida State hasn't been able to get much play, but the challenge for Virginia is they haven't gotten anything in behind either. That one ball into Doniak is all we've seen.
Self pass. Sharp cut back now. Some tremendous work on the ball out wide there. Ratcliffe again, who's showing a bit of magic, drives it in, but it's hit right at the goalkeeper, Cassie Miller. How about some tricks and stopping and going out wide?
And Ratcliffe's been a little bit quiet, and here's the potential of a Ratcliffe. Is she's got pace, she loves to get in behind defenders, typically trying to get to that inline. We just haven't seen a lot of that today, but they're going to want her with the ball faced up, going at a back line.
22 career goals for Brittany Ratcliffe from Williamstown, New Jersey. She's got 10 on the year. Pressing play from Virginia. They push Florida State back again. Kirsten Crowley now stands on it from Panama City Beach, Florida.
You thought when Florida State lost Cassie Coleman as their starting center back, senior from last year, All-American, you thought when they lost Kelsey Weiss that they would suffer a little bit defensively, but my goodness, that center back duo of Grubka and Crowley has been so impressive, and Cassie Miller behind them.
Shayna Williams now. Shayna Williams beat one, trying to beat a second with a long touch. Williams tries to get a shot off. It'll be a corner for Florida State, and that comes right after Morgan Bryan had an opportunity on the ball to put a player in from behind. So we're seeing a little bit coming now from an attacking standpoint.
And the difference with Shanna Williams in there, she can get in behind, she's going to face up and take on.
That is a good sign for Florida State. Carson Pickett to take the corner. Virginia starter laid it to the top of the box, flashed over the top. Knocked the header back towards the 18, led to a shooting opportunity. And Michaela Hahn.
And this is twice that Florida State has had this good look at the top of the box. Virginia trying to shut it down, but those you just got to keep low and driven and hope it takes a deflection. Easier said than done, of course.
Capital One point standings. Fans today, the winning team received 60 points towards the Capital One Cup. For more information, log on to ESPN.com/Capital One Cup. 60 points received today for the winning program. Midfield stalemate here today in Boca Raton, Florida.
Interesting decision there, though, by Megan Campbell. You have a chance to flight it in, maybe get a second ball. They keep it play short, don't get anything out of it right here. Trying to draw Virginia out, as you said, Glenn, with no luck. You can see that midfield and back line very organized and compact for Virginia.
Yeah, look at them getting numbers around the ball. Boniak couldn't keep it. Really played the majority of this game with her back to goal. Florida State now. Campbell creeping into the attack. Morgan Bryan shuts the passing lane down. And Virginia win the ball back. Switch by Latsko. Ratcliffe now, who found a bit of energy but loses possession. And there's the danger. Shayna Williams sitting off that last line of the Virginia defense. Driving run here from Reed. And coming out of the middle to break that play up, number 22, Kirsten Crowley. So is the onus on outside backs or center backs maybe to carry the ball forward?
You do see a spark when you get that, because it has to shift the defense.
Turn and whipped in at the near post. Nobody there. Easily handled again by Cassie Miller. Best chances today have come off set pieces and corners, long throw-ins.
And I think both teams are going to have to start taking that risk eventually. You're going to have to give up a little bit defensively, send it back forward. We've seen how effective Sonnet is at that center back position for Virginia getting forward. Both playing just with that one high forward.
Game at a walking pace right now. Grubka. Fields couldn't control it. And out of play, it's a goal kick. Next Sunday at 4, the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs battling big man Rakeem Christmas and Syracuse. Then we go on to UNC Wilmington, who square off against Louisville in their monstrous front court. The Holiday Hoops doubleheader beginning next Sunday, December 14th at 4 on ESPNU. ESPNU, the home court of college hoops. Off the goal kick is Virginia and Morgan Stearns. Brynja Starter. Williams trying to get there, and coming across to extinguish that attack was Kristen McNown. And here's the long throw again. Megan Campbell to take it.
Number 13, center back Kristen Grubka coming all the way to that front post. Virginia going to front her and put a defender behind her.
Campbell whips it in. Morgan Bryan, who today has been resigned to a more defensive role, heading it away for Virginia. Fields knocks it forward. Pickett gave it away. This is positive for Virginia. Latsko trying to get in there. Koivisto now. And it'll be a throw in Virginia. Following the championship match, you can watch the 2014 Women's College Cup Trophy Ceremony live over on ESPN3. But right now, game that is scoreless between Virginia and Florida State. Letsko trying to lay it off to Doniak. Rubka came in there with a big tackle. Doniak slow to get up. And it'll be a free kick. Foul called on Alexis Schaffer.
And you look around the field for both teams, you go, okay, who's going to be the game changer in this? This is the foul just earlier on. Who's going to be the game changer? And the players that have the potential of Morgan Bryan, a Colaprico, right now not getting enough of the ball. And for Florida State, Brynja's daughter, Jamia Fields, their midfield starting to push higher, take more risks. Koivisto, the right back for Florida State. She's all the way on the front line. You're going to see her in the bottom of your screen coming up here. Much more aggressive stance right now for Florida State. They're the ones that are going to be taking more risks. See if it pays off in these next 25 minutes.
Yeah, I think both teams would be, to your point, pretty disappointed not to get Brynja Stoddard on the ball more for FSU and Morgan Bryan. Bryan, here she is now on the ball. Can make so many things happen with penetrating passes like that. Doniak. Except the problem is she's making those from her own half of the field. Seven All-Americans out here today. 4 for Virginia and 3 for Florida State.
Good glimpse into what the NWSL is going to benefit from right there.
Crossing opportunity here. Top of the box, Colaprico trying to break her way through. Doniak is in there. Well, you mentioned Danielle Colaprico. She could be a difference maker here today.
I saw Colaprico with her parents in the lobby. We're staying at the same hotel as Virginia, and it was one of those moments that you glimpse and you go, oh my gosh, I don't know if I should be walking by at this moment. Her mom's in tears, nice tears, because it's Danielle's last game, of course, as a senior.
Campbell now trying to bring some of the wide game to the Florida attack. It'll be a Virginia throw.
And Colaprico saying, Mom, don't cry, it's okay. It was adorable.
We're going to see a lot more of her in the future. Now, time relative to score, we would expect the urgency to begin to slowly ratchet up a notch or two. Colaprico now, I mean, you just mentioned. As we head up, penetrating pass, Doniak was allowed to turn, couldn't find Bryan. There's some moments here where it's broken down today where it shouldn't have. Third time today in NCAA Women's College Cup history that we've had an all-ACC final. 92 Duke 9-1 losers to the University of North Carolina. And 88 North Carolina 4-1 over NC State. These great Anson Dorrance teams. Bryan now. Played it wide. Ratcliffe tried to split two. Be a throw in Virginia. Squared it back. Grubka got there. Colaprico now trying to win at the top of the box to keep this attack alive. Doniak got turned! One of the best chances of the game, and she created it pretty much herself.
One of the best chances in the game from one of the great finishers in the collegiate game. 20 goals this year. Look at that nice little turn. Creates a half window. Those are typically ones she'd get on frame. And the danger of Doniak getting that ball in a position where she can have a little space to turn and shoot. Higher up.
Big trouble here. Offside flag is up on Williams. We've seen little of that. Either team struggling to get behind opponents today. Play Visto, Hahn. Virginia win it back. Doniak gave it away. Schmidt now. Pickett, and she's a good passer of the ball. Drops it in behind the defense. Williams was the target. Carson Pickett reminding us that she's got a great range of passing out of midfield. One thing you and I were able to find out when we met with all these teams, Julie, was that they all have got this great esprit de corps. For Virginia, it's all in.
And they talked about the culture of the team for Virginia and how that's changed. And these are the moments where you got to pull it out. Morgan Bryan saying when we came in as seniors, it wasn't that we didn't get along, it just wasn't as inclusive as it should be, and we changed that immediately as sophomores. And what a difference it's made. And it's not surprising when you get to this stage, the culture is so important, and you hear all these teams talk about how close they are.
Jamia Fields. Good tackle there from Iordanu. Campbell. Grubka. When Florida State hits the halfway line is when they begin to get a little resistance.
And here's where Florida State, Virginia has given them essentially their own defensive half. They've got to carry it forward. You got to have the confidence to shift those players on the dribble, an outside back maybe. Grubka there, she can set play from there, but they got to go at them and pull them out a little bit more. I think setting play just too far deep right now.
Isabella Schmidt stepping up is going to earn a free kick. She was fouled.
And this is really the danger areas we've seen today for both teams. These set pieces within range. Schmidt, good call by the referee. Virginia coming in tight. Get a grab there from that angle.
Great camera work. You got to win the initial ball, the second ball, and even sometimes the third ball here. Campbell. Coverage of the NCAA championships will continue. The Men's College Cup semifinals from Cary, North Carolina. It's Friday, December 12th, 5 and 7:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPNU. For more information on the NCAA Men's College Cup, you can log on to NCAA.com. That is the official online home for all 89 NCAA championships. University of Maryland, Baltimore County got past Creighton. They will take on Virginia. Providence will take on UCLA. So some new programs in the NCAA Men's College Cup Finals. Looking forward to calling that one with Taylor Twellman in Cary, North Carolina. Ratcliffe.
Fresh legs for Virginia here in Ruther.
And she started the semifinals, top of the box. Ratcliffe trying to get off a shot. Did that go over the end line?
still staying in that 4-5-1 for Virginia. Ruther now leading the line for them. Lats go in. Hazel Riggin for Virginia. And Shayna Williams for Florida State getting a breather.
Very similar substitution pattern to the first half. Does anybody change things here to, in a sense, take a little risk to go for the win here in regulation, Julie? And if so, who is it and how do they do it?
Well, you got to weigh the time of it, right? You don't want to start going too early, but I think you've got to change something. Both of them are so defensively solid right now. You've got to start taking risks.
Not a pun on words, but a cavalier attitude could win you a national title today.
You look at that clock ticking down at 19 and you start going, okay, here we go. We got to make a move here soon.
Virginia getting backed in. Jamia Fields. Brynja's daughter at the top of the box is tackled away. She has had really little influence on the attack today. In attendance, the under-15 Jordanian national team. They came up, Julie Foudy hosting them and bringing them up in the booth here today. What a great group of young ladies.
They're awesome. How awesome is that? They're here with the State Department Sports Diplomacy Program, and they're hosting the Jordanian team. Jordan is hosting the under-17 World Cup in 2016 for the girls. And they had a chance. Prince Ali, who sits on the executive committee for FIFA, had a chance to host the men's under-20 World Cup. He chose the women instead because he wants to, of course, support women's soccer in the Middle Eastern region, which is phenomenal to see that and him leading the charge there.
Schmidt plays away from pressure. Towards the goalkeeper.
They were very intrigued with the telestrator. I came back to the telestrator after they left, and there was like art all over it.
Well, and your former teammate Mary Harvey, a part of this exchange program.
And they're going on Monday to see Carla Overbeck and Cindy Parlow in North Carolina as well to get some more training and some leadership training as well. It's great to see. I love it. I love the teammates too who are helping out.
Women's soccer world getting closer and closer every day. Offside flag is up. Of course, it's only 7 months to the FIFA 2015 Women's World Cup in Canada.
Sonic kicking that ball away, knowing you just don't want to give up those Florida State throw-ins in that defensive third.
Florida State substitution. Into the game, number 21, Marta Bukowska-Matthews.
Marta Bukowska-Matthews will come on. Last year was a starter. Pickett comes off.
Virginia substitution. Into the game, number 4,
Megan Cox comes on for Virginia.
Number 3, Megan Reed.
And here comes the long throw, and this could be the difference on a day like today. Whipped in by Campbell, and right away Megan Cox gets up to win a header straight off the bench. Here it comes again, and you know, this really stops and slows the game down. The amount of time it takes for her to get the ball, the run up. It's a flow changer. In the box it comes, headed away by Virginia. They've defended these long throws very well today.
And also defended that second ball, which is so dangerous as well, that bounces out.
Campbell won it back. What does this mean now for Florida State? Do they push the tempo here a bit? They do. They clip it into the box. It's headed away. Handball is going to be called on Virginia.
What a good tackle by Megan Campbell there to start that play.
More set pieces. It's way over the top. It's a wasted one. And you got to say right now, if you keep conceding these throw-ins and goal kicks and set pieces and corners, minus the goal kicks, could it come back to bite you here today? I mean, is this what
I think that
FSU's playing for?
Yeah, that plays into their hands for sure. And you could see Sonic kick that ball against the wall when she did concede that throw-in, because you just know how hard those are to defend. Want to keep it. They even said part of our game plan is keeping it away from that sideline. We got to play make through the middle for Virginia.
And basically, Virginia keeping players behind the ball here. Colaprico now. Again, these teams met twice during the regular season. Both times, Florida State with 1-0 victories. One of those was in the ACC tournament final. Over the top, Brynja's daughter is going to try to get there, and it'll go all the way to the goalkeeper, Morgan Stearns.
Jamia Fields so good on defense, constantly just pushing him into the sidelines there. Wins that ball and tries to counter out of it.
Here comes Sonnet now, trying to initiate it out of the back. Ryan tries to get there. Koivisto now. So evident that these are all very technical soccer players that are being forced to do it on a short turnaround here.
And I give Florida State a lot of credit because they have been able to minimize the impact of a Morgan Bryan and a Colaprico. Two of the best playmakers in the game. It's not surprising since those two seniors, Colaprico and Bryan, have come to Virginia. They have led the nation in goals for 4 years.
But is that because today they've been resigned to defending in this system for Steve Swanson? Because they really haven't gotten the ball in the final third at all.
I think they've been resigned to defending, and when they do get the ball, that's the credit I give to Florida State. They get immediate numbers on the ball. There's a person pressuring, there's a cover, there's a balance, there's often two doubling.
This is a talented freshman. Koivisto had a wonderful game against Stanford from the right back position. I know you like the way she played the game.
And I like how she gets forward as well. She's willing to take that risk. Down to 12 minutes. Who is going to be willing to take that risk?
Is there more urgency now to try and find a game winner? Brynja's daughter. Florida State in possession now. Michaela Hahn. Koivisto is going to drive a long ball in. Offer line is Stearns, easily handled. The crosses today and the delivery have been gobbled up by both goalkeepers, Stearns and Miller. Both teams gripped a little bit too much today by caution.
Yeah, I was just thinking as you look at this at Doniak, the one front for Virginia, and they haven't been able to get her in much. You have 11 minutes left. At what point do you say, okay? I mean, this is the time when you say maybe we go into that 3-5-2, or maybe we go into that 4-4-2 to get her a little more help up front.
Florida State now. Here's Jamia Fields, capable of getting to the end line. That's what she's going to try to do, and she's defended perfectly. But it concedes the corner now, and this is a pivotal moment here with less than 11 minutes left. They have had to defend corners, throw-ins all day. Virginia's done a great job of it, and they'll have to do it again. Changes made for both teams.
Just don't want to give up set pieces here at this moment in the game. You got to be so careful about that.
Shayna Williams comes back on. Bukowska Matthews to take the corner for Florida State.
You see right at the top of the box, Michaela Hahn, she's been getting that second ball so much.
Driven in again.